Yo, 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 good morning. Grateful for another maggot-free day above the dirt, Jersey Shore. Check it out. So, I've kind of finished all the traditional Buddhist teaching topics for the moment. And I just wanted to have any more videos be kind of organic and just, I'll get a better background, right? And, just kind of come up and speak about it when it comes up. So what's on my mind right now is what's called the sacred pause. And it's easy to be mindful when we're being mindful of something we want to be mindful of. And the hardest part about mindfulness, and really the most important aspect in my opinion, is to utilize mindfulness to know when we're not being mindful. And this is really difficult because, we can be like just lost in delusion, lost in our own minds in a narrative of thought. And we have to have that effort, that kind of intrinsic knowledge that we need to kind of check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, so to speak. So the sacred pause is to realize that we're not being mindful, that we're kind of engaged in something. It doesn't have to be really unhealthy. It could just be unproductive or anywhere in between. But we use the sacred pause to pause and realize that we need to be mindful and then redirect ourselves to do so. So I'm going to tell a few Zen kind of stories and then kind of get to the point of what kind of triggered this thinking in me right now. So Suzuki Roshi told his Zen students, when you're eating, just eating, or just eat. When you're doing this, just do this. When you're doing that, just do that. Meaning, don't add anything to it. Don't add any, story to it, or judgment, or criticism, or just don't add anything extra, right? That's what Zen is, not adding anything extra. Having a true, real-time, present moment experience. So one day, one of his students walks into the Zen Center kitchen and is horrified to see Suzuki Roshi sitting there eating and reading the paper. And the student says, Roshi, what are you doing? You said, when eat, just eat. What are you doing? And the Roshi laughs and he says, yes, but when you eat and read the paper, just eat and read the paper. So, my modern spin on that is, I believe I was in Jamaica, and all the women were topless on the beach, and I was with my ex who didn't care, and here I was, on this beautiful beach, pristine beach, just living the life. But here I have like 15, 20 topless women all around me, and I'm going, crazy in my mind, feeling guilty, that I'm looking, feel judging myself and criticizing myself really harshly about being a spiritual practitioner. But, here I was, looking at boobs, right? And it just wasn't even in a sexual way. It was just like this like really uncomfortable way for me, because I felt I was not being spiritual. And then I remembered the Roshi story, Suzuki Roshi story, and I said to myself, hey Jeff, when you look at boobs, just look at boobs. So that's my modern take on it, right? But that's our life. Self-criticism, judgment, guilt that we add to experience. And sometimes, that stuff is pertinent, and sometimes it's not. But kind of what triggered this today is I've been running every morning, and I live a block from the beach, and even when the weather says it's warm, a block away, it's still almost 10 degrees colder, and with the wind coming off the ocean in the morning, it can feel a lot colder. So as you see today, I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 layers on, and it's actually really, really warm, and it's getting really warm quickly. There's no wind. So I'm jogging, and I instantly just really start, sweating really badly, and I'm instantly uncomfortable. And my first thought is, I got to get away from this. Let me just go home and shed some clothes and come back. And and for a good part of the run, I'm like, in my mind about this. And then, I had to take that pause and say, you know what? Sweating's good. It's good for you. It's good for the fitness. It's good for achieving your fitness goals and your wellness goal. When you sweat, just sweat. And when you run, just run. And don't add anything extra. And but there's a deeper issue here, which is, we want reality to conform to our idea of it. We want to be secure in our expectations. And we suffer because we try to make reality conform to how we want it rather than accepting the way it is. And this goes back a lot to our survival instinct, our fight, freeze, or flight instinct, where the minute we're faced with danger or uncomfortability or difficulty, we go into that mode. So, I was sweating, I was uncomfortable, and instantly my mind said, you got to change this. So that's that caveman instinct that, was great when a saber-toothed tiger, walked into view. You see it, you instantly knee-jerk, I got to get out of here, and you do it. But carrying this mindset, which is wired into our DNA, to just instantly turn away or run away from what's uncomfortable or difficult, is something we need to manage in spiritual practice, and it's something that doesn't apply in modern life 99.9% of the time. Yet our reaction is that over-the-top survival reaction. So spiritual practice is about, turning towards what makes us uncomfortable and turning towards what we don't want to face and then being with it. So I'm going to finish my run now, and when I sweat, I'm just going to sweat, and I'm at the beach, so if I'm lucky enough to see some boobs, I'm just going to look at boobs. Peace out.